foundation has to be your text, your music, how you use your voice. Then you look at how you present that, how your posture is, how you use your hand, how do you move on stage. Okay, so those are the four main points. So we're going to look at one example. I kept talking text, right? So we're going to look at an aria by Bellini from I Puritani called Qui la voce. And in a lot of ways, when we're talking about Bellini operas, we're talking about this sort of school or this genre of opera called bel canto opera. And in a lot of ways, bel canto opera is a genre of opera which emphasizes a lot on the voice, the beauty of the voice. The literal translation of bel canto means beautiful voice. Beautiful singing, bel canto. So in a lot of sense, it makes a lot of sense when we look at Bellini's operas to think of performing them as a very beautiful singing melodious kind of composition. But again, the text is actually the foundation. So that lyricism or the beautiful singing cannot happen without the text. I mentioned this guy I worked with in Italy. He had the opportunity to witness a coaching session where Maria Callas was very, very young. She was coaching with a soprano called Gilda Dararizza, who was one of Puccini's most favorite sopranos. He wrote Sor Angelica for her. He wrote Leo in Turandot for her. So they were having this sort of coaching, and it was very interesting back then because the music stand, is like a triangle this way. So one would stand here, and one would stand at the other side. Okay, 2020 you cannot use because you need a plexiglass glass. But last time they used that, and Gilda would just sing a line, and then Callas will imitate, and then Gilda would just sing again, and very little explanation, a lot of sort of imitation. But what was interesting was that they were singing in Traviata this very beautiful line by Violetta. Dite alla giovine sti bella e pura. So tell your daughter who is beautiful and innocent, si bella e pura. So I have too many things I want to tell you. Oh, hold on. Okay, so si bella e pura. She's beautiful and innocent. So what they did was she sang Callas sings si bella e pura. And then Gilda said, oh, you need one expression. Literally what she did was doubling the B of Bella and doubling the P of Pura. And then she did that, and it was, yes, beautiful. Interestingly, this exact example was in a documentary, I think it was a documentary, part of a documentary in Royal Opera House, in London, where Antonio Pappano, the conductor, was coaching Renee Fleming. She did the same thing. She said, and then Pappano said, Renee, I need something for Pura. She's really innocent. And then she did, and then Pappano said, yeah, great. So, see, it is built based on that foundation. So if you know Qui la voce, actually, I didn't actually plan to play this, but um, if you know hula voces, it's slow and it's very melodious. So the start, this is the melody. Very, very nice. Even on the piano, it's already exquisite, right? And we'll think okay, well, so make sure that your voice is really really flowing, and make sure that we hear your voice all the time. Consonants, just throw them away because this is beautiful. Okay. Well, I'm going to show you how that first. Okay. So fast. So this is the beginning of this aria. With la voce sua soave. And I marked here on red. Um, those are, in Italian, those are the consonants that you would use in expression. I will not tell you why now, because it's going to run until 7 o'clock if I tell you why. Qui la voce sua soave. So you see, there are actually a lot of those consonants that one can actually use when one is singing this and to express this. The next page has this. So again, okay, this one is written double S. This one is double S. Sorry, it's not very clear. And then you have that with this. If you a boy, just a little bit. Maybe we'll use this in the master class. Maybe we'll touch on this. A boy. The reason why the P is double is because of a rule from Latin. Italian is built based on the Latin language, and there are certain words where when it's used, the next consonant will be long. So if I say I'm going home, ritorno a casa, a is a, and then casa, C-A-S-A. Italians usually won't say a casa, they say a casa because of that rule carried on from Latin. And e is one of those. So e boy. So we have all these, okay? Let's listen to, I think I have 2 examples here. Yes, I have 2 examples here. So one is anamorpho, beautiful soprano, and another one is obviously the legend, Maria Callas. So let's play the first one. Yeah, I hope you can hear quite clearly that. Let's go back to that one. I hope you can hear how she actually uses the text. So she actually does that. If you don't know that you can actually use that consonant, you will do this. mi chiamava, e voi spari. What she did, e voi spari. That creates that kind of excitement in that. She does that a lot, and she doesn't just carry the vowels through all the time, because then if you think about it, a language is built on vowels and consonants. The reason why you understand what I'm saying here is because I have consonants. Because right? If there's no consonant, then how are you going to understand? So so then, if you think that when you're singing the text, you are actually communicating, you're actually trying to present drama, then obviously you want to keep the text. You won't just throw away the text because, as I said, what the coach said, you might as well just sing for the whole opera. Okay? So let's play Callas. Okay, I don't know what I did. Okay, let's play Callas. In Italy, they call it Callas. There's a reason why she's a legend. Right, so we have text. The next example I'm going to show you is an aria by Puccini. So we're gonna put more things into that. So what the text tells us is the context, right? So I have here. This is Luciano Nisbele from Tosca, sung by this tenor. His name is Cavaradossi. This is in the last act. Previously, he has been beaten. He's very badly injured, and he's awaiting his death because he refuses to betray his friends. So then he's awaiting his death because they were going to shoot him. And so he's awaiting death, and he's injured and badly hurt. He thinks his lover has been abused because in the previous act, this person called Scarpia is the head of police, and he's a man of power, and he has Tosca with him, and he says, he asked the tenant, you better tell me where he is, where your friend is, or else I'm gonna abuse Tosca. But at the end of the act, Tosca actually kills Scarpia. He doesn't know that yet. Okay. And we know it's nighttime because he's singing about the stars and clear sky. So he's sort of reflecting on his life and his love. So it's a very heartbreaking aria. Okay. And we have here, looking at what Puccini writes, okay? Andante lento appassionato molto, very passionate. And we have a clarinet solo here. It's also important for singers and the pianists to know who in the orchestra is playing what line, because those will give different kind of sound. Because a clarinet solo will sound very different from a whole violin, first violin section playing that melody together, right? So, which means that a clarinet solo will sound a little bit more bare and more hollow in the texture. Quasi-recitative because it's like only on one line, and you don't just look at quasi-recitative and then it's on one line. Okay, then I sing one line lah. Then why Puccini actually writes one line? Because he's, and here it says pensando, thinking, pondering. In this aria, and so when you're singing this, you don't just start understand. You don't think to yourself like that. Okay, so you adjust your voice according to the context, according to what a composer tells you, and pensando, and you adjust the tone, you adjust the dynamics, you adjust your color. Okay. So this is how it starts, and okay, this is the second page of this, and it carries on the same, so like one line, and so the clarity of the text is more important in this way. The orchestra has the melody, so you know that you are singing this, but the orchestra actually plays a melody, and then eventually they actually play and sing together. So in this genre of opera called verismo, which is from Puccini onwards, the Italian composers, very small operas, you'll often find the orchestra playing together with the singer in unison or in octaves, but basically the same melody. And every time you have that, you know this is coming to a climax. Usually, it means that. So here, the orchestra is playing with the singer, and then you have here sostenuto con slancio. Slancio means rushed. With slanciare means to rush. And con slancio is with that kind of whoosh, or whatever you want to call that. And then you have col canto. Italiano col canto, when you see col canto, it means that yes, it's my time. Okay. And same to pianists, if you see col canto, listen to them. Okay. I don't know why I wrote here. This is the end of the aria. So the example I'm going to play for you is sung by Jose Carreras. Very amazing tenor in my opinion. He has a beautiful voice, but the reason why he's amazing is that he's able to use the text to his advantage a lot. And because of that, when we are listening to him sing, we're just drawn to his singing, because it just has so much drama. It doesn't have to do all that. Just everything is in the voice and in the way he articulates the text. So it's absolutely amazing. Let's listen to that. hear how much drama there was in his voice, and you hear also how he actually uses the text to do that. Towards the end, he says, "E muoio disperato." Desperate. Desperado. He doesn't just go desperado, desperado. He actually does that. And so it just draws you in. So the last thing I'm going to show you is a young bass, an amazing voice. But you know, when you hear him sing, it's not just the voice; it's the way he clearly understands the character. So this is a serenade, in quotation serenade, because normally serenade is a proper sort of wooing kind of song. But he's singing a serenade to sort of mock this girl. I'm blanking on her name, but she actually didn't wait to have a sexual relationship with the guy before marriage, after marriage. So they actually had that relationship before marriage. So this guy, Mephistopheles, is trying to mock her, okay? Trying to sing a serenade to her, and then just saying that, oh, you know, a very, very good girl will always wait until after marriage, that kind of thing. So he doesn't only use the voice, but I want you to, well, the reason why this is a video is because I want you to look at how relaxed he is and how he uses his body movements to express different things. Okay, and obviously this is in recital setting with the piano. So he has he's not singing this thing in the opera. Okay, so he's just singing this aria as a standalone aria. And notice how natural he is, how he moves when he's waiting for the interlude of the piano, and above all, how he's actually super clear with his diction, with his text. Okay. Right. So what I'm trying to do here is to combine what we said. You know, first of all, as a foundation using the text, and then looking at the context and looking at what the composer is doing, and also being presentable when you're singing. So so if you're staying in a masterclass, have we have quite a few arias to go through, which is great because we have a lot of different genres to cover, which is good. So we have and we're gonna talk about different genres and different styles in the masterclass. When we have Italian, we have Mozart, we have some recit, we have Puccini, we have French, we also have Russian. Okay, so stay tuned.
All right, I think we have a few minutes. Do you have any questions for Dr. before we end the lecture? Looks like we're all Malaysian here. Except one. No questions? Me? All right, now mine. Okay, we will resume the masterclass in half an hour's time, so that'll be at 4 o'clock. Okay, so as Bernard mentioned, we have quite amazing repertoire of masterclass participants, different composers, different areas. I think it will be very interesting. So please join us afterwards at 4. And in between, we actually have about 7 participants. So we will try to take a short break in between so that we can finish that. Okay. Until then, so I'll see you at 4. Restroom in the front and back, and thank you. And once again, to Dr.